Now you said you were shot at yourself.
Yeah, well, I actually was shot. I was shot 4 times. Once in the leg, 3 times in the stomach. Um, Happened in 2010. It was a rough experience. I was in the hospital for like 9 months, in and out the hospital for 9 months. I had to learn how to walk again. Like, I had a IV bag. I had a fistula bag on my stomach. Like, everything I ate came out my stomach. Like, still to this day, I still can't feel like certain parts of my stomach is like numb.
Now, how did you even get into the position to even get shot?
Well, I actually was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was at somebody else's house and somebody kicked the door, and it was a robbery attempt. They were trying to kill me. I ended up fighting for my life. Ended up beating one of the dudes up, took the gun. But in the process of me getting away, I got shot. But I didn't even know I was hit, to be honest with you. Like, a woman had to tell me I was shot. And, you know, a lot of people think it was a drug deal gone bad or something. Like, I ain't even know what was going on. Like, and you're in the street, so you got to keep it silent, because even telling on somebody doing harm to you is written.
That's the code.
Right.
Now, is that a code that people follow?
Everybody now.
In the whole country, or is that a Louisiana, Baton Rouge type of thing?
That's a real nigga code. Like, it might be real stupid all at the same time, but at the end of the day, that's what you signed up for, because you can't take the good without the bad. It's like how you expect to ball and shoot jumpers every day and not expect to sit on the bench. You feel me? Like, that's a part of the game. Like, people, and that's one thing I vocalize in my music. Like, you gotta take the good with the bad, but everybody ain't stand up in the street so watered down. Like, back when I was younger, everybody wasn't hustling, everybody wasn't in the streets, people had jobs. Now everybody think it's cool to be a hustler, or think it's cool to rap and all that, so they not really doing what they supposed to be doing. So now it's so many weak people that's doing it. So you get caught in the shuffle of, they gonna tell, cause they ain't really like that. They portraying an image. Like, you got these Instagram, like, you watch people hustle off Instagram. Like, if you really in the streets like that, you shouldn't even much have no Instagram. Like, why is you broadcasting your business like that? Like, but like I say, the game's so watered down. But it's not a Louisiana thing, because just like they got some niggas that would have told and did the opposite of what I did. You know what I'm saying? And I know people, because I done been in situations where nigga ain't gonna do nothing but point the finger and catch the stand on you. They gonna act like they like that, but they really ain't like that at all.
Now, I've seen interviews when it comes to talking about snitching, where people, like an interviewer will pose the question to somebody saying, okay, if somebody killed your mother, would you tell?
No, you ain't supposed to tell the police. Nah, because at the end of the day, it's the streets. You know what I mean? It's, if you living by a street code where you in the streets and you doing stuff that you ain't, like, just say you go rob somebody and they kill your mama, you did that bad. So you can't say, you gotta accept the consequences of everything you do. If you out here and you got millions and millions of dollars and the nigga want your money, they gonna do what they gotta do. If it's kidnapping your whoever, like, you could've went, got a job and lived an honest life. Now, when it's on some shit where it's some honest people shit, and it's honest living and people like living like that, that's different. But when you in the streets, you gotta take the streets, the good and the bad of the streets. Like, it ain't no, okay, I'ma hustle for 20 years and make $1 million, but I ain't gonna never go to jail. Or a nigga ain't gonna never try to rob me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how you even think that's possible? Like, everything has a bad side to it, but like, people don't want to accept it, and that's why people become snitches and people become thieves, and it's just.
So if you're in the streets doing street stuff,
yeah,
and somebody kills your mother, that's a no snitch
policy.
But
you're supposed to kill their mama.
But if you're living an honest life, not doing any street stuff, and somebody happens to kill your mother, then that's a different scenario.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, that is, because you ain't living like that. When you living like that, you living like that. So you gotta oblige by, when you following the rules, you can follow the rules. But you not following the rules.
Now another interview about snitching that I've seen an interview pose a question is, they asked the question, okay, what if a serial killer or a serial rapist just so happens to move next to you and you find out?
But how you gonna find? Like I seen that shit with I think it was Cameron.
Exactly.
He did the interview and
with 60 Minutes, I believe.
Yeah. Now I at the end of the day, I can't even tell you how to answer that question, because that's some different type of shit right there. I ain't gonna lie. A serial killer
or a serial rapist.
A rapist for sure, you damn near. I don't condone telling, but some shit, that's some other type of shit right there. That ain't no regular type stuff. That's some nah. Like, I don't know no serial killers or no serial rapists. You feel me? So I couldn't even understand how to answer that question, to be honest with you. Like, that's some crazy.
Cameron said in his interview he wouldn't tell.
But that's what he's saying on TV.
Right.
You feel me? You paint a picture. I call a spade a spade. I don't care if it's the ace or the deuce. I'm gonna call it a spade. So it ain't no. I can't tell you what I do if my next door neighbor was serious. I damn near might have to take him out myself. It's like, that's the type of people that's supposed to be dying. That's the niggas you supposed to be putting hits on. And like, but man, like I say, shit so watered down, because they, like, back in the day, you go to jail for rape, you couldn't live. Like, niggas, I done been in jail, and niggas be right there, and niggas don't be doing them niggas nothing, man. That shit ain't like that no more at all.
Okay, so how old were you when you got shot?
26.
26. So
yeah.
You get shot, and you said you didn't even know you were shot. So my question to this is, and I always ask this question, I've never been shot before, so I don't know what it feels like, but I always ask the question in this type of interview, and I always ask, what does it feel like to be shot?
Because your adrenaline's pumping so much is going on, you don't even be knowing. Like, I had got away, I had ran, I see a woman, and I'm like, I stop her, and she like, you bleeding? I'm like, I'm bleeding. She like, yeah. I look, and the first thing I seen was the blood coming down my leg. So she like, I'm like, I lean back on the car, and she like, nah, you bleeding from your stomach. When she said that, I put my hands on my stomach. I had blood going all the way down this arm, all the way up this arm. So I laid up down on the ground. It's like, if she wouldn't have told me, I probably would have figured it out later on. But at that point, I didn't know I was shot. Like, you got your adrenaline's rushing, and you got so much going on that you don't even notice stuff like that.
Now, what's going through your mind after you do figure out that you've been shot? Does an ambulance come and pick you up? Do you take yourself to the hospital? How does that work?
No. When I got shot, the first thing that popped in my, when she told me that, I ain't tell her call 911. The first thing I told her to do is call my mama. Like, I had to see my mom. I had to talk to my mama. Like, before 911, I didn't even know where I was going. Like, the ambulance wasn't called. I just had to talk to my mama, because at the end of the day, that's the most important person in the world to me. Like, and I couldn't die without talking to my mama or seeing my mama. Like, which I fought for, like, the whole time. I'm holding my eyes open and, like, fighting for my life. Like, I'm knowing in my heart that I'm not about to allow myself to die, but if I was to, I gotta see my mama. Like if anybody else, like, I gotta see mine.
Could you have died or been paralyzed from those wounds?
Yeah, I was messed up, bro. Like, I was in when I first got shot, I was in the hospital for maybe 4 months straight. Like, I had to learn how to walk again. Like, it was a process. Like, I had to learn how to stand up. Like, for about a week, I'm just standing up. Then another week, I'm taking 4 or 5 steps. Then I'm like, and then it's like, it's so crazy because the world's still going on, and you so heavily medicated, like, you thinking a day or two passed, but it's really been a month or two. You feel me? Like, it done been times I done woke up in the hospital and I'm thinking, I done got captured by aliens. Like, like, I see so much shit going on. I'm telling one time I remember my uncle was with me, and I was so high off the medicine and stuff. and we was watching the Saints game, and I fell asleep, and I had a dream that I had went in the game, and he watching me sleep, and he woke me up because I'm in my dreams, spin moving and shaking people and doing all type of shit. But it's like it's a process, and like the only thing I can say, like the bullets and all that shit hurt, but what really hurt was like seeing the pain on my family face, like watching my mama cry, like seeing her look at me in the state that I was in, and on top of that, me telling her that I'ma change, knowing I wasn't. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Now, I imagine being in a hospital for 4 months could be a very expensive hospital bill.
Yeah.
How does something like that get taken care of?
Man, by the grace of God, I got Medicaid. To see where we from is like, they got the white people hospital. I ain't gonna say the white people hospital. They got the good hospital, and they got the other hospital. Like, it's called Earl K. Long. Matter of fact, it's so bad that since that shit happened, the hospital ain't even open no more.
Wow.
Like, so if you like Baton Rouge, so messed up, if you get shot on the north side of Baton Rouge, you gotta drive all the way on the other side of Baton Rouge to go to the hospital. So you damn near got a 30, 45 minute drive just to get to the hospital, when they used to have a hospital right down the street, but the governor for some reason cut it out. But I ended up, like, they kept on putting in the paperwork for me to get Medicaid, and like the doctor was like, well, if he don't get it, we gonna have to send him to the other hospital. And like doing all this was going on, like I was under investigation because they had all type of, so the police was trying to handcuff me to the bed, but I was so messed up that they had to just leave me alone about it. And what's crazy about that whole situation, that after I shook back from getting shot, I had to go to jail for it. Like, and that's like, that shows you like the world ain't fair, because like I got shot and I ended up having to do 8 months in jail behind it.
Why would you get arrested for, put away for?
They found a gram of weed inside the drain of the sink and some drink in the house. But the house wasn't my house, it wasn't in my name. I just was there. I had only been there 15 minutes. I just got shot in the house. But by me being there and me not naming who it was or whatever happened or whatnot, and the person ended up, like I say, people say you ain't supposed to tell and snitch. Instead of him just saying, I don't know what happened, and they actually came to the house looking for him. He told the police that everything for me, and it wasn't even no major shit like that. But I was on probation at the time, lose-lose situation, and probation really just a catch-22. Like, if you ain't about to change your life, like, probation ain't what you need to be getting on. So I ended up having to wait till I beat the charge. I got a new probation officer. She was with the shit. She was trying to give me 10 years for a gram of weed, like, and after the judge ended up finding out what was going on, and she was like, this ain't even much right, they ended up throwing it out.
Okay, so you're in the hospital for 4 months. You go to jail after you get, you leave the hospital?
This is what happened. I got shot the day after Christmas. Excuse me. I'm in the hospital like 4 months. They said they was gonna let me go home. I remember one time they was gonna let me go home earlier cause they trying to get me in a position like I had to learn how to walk and all that stuff, get my motor skills back so I could go home. I had a hole in my stomach. It probably was about this big, and it had to heal from the outside in. So when it finished healing, they was gonna close my stomach. So I remember one time they said they was gonna let me go home. I think it was Mardi Gras, and I got out the bed, I'm dancing and playing around. I had just learned how to walk again. I fell down and messed myself up more, and I ended up having to stay some more. But when I went home, I was withdrawn from the medicine, so I had to go back to the hospital. I went back for like 2 months. Then they kept on, I went back home. I'm on the IV. They telling me I gotta wait till I finish healing before they could sew me back up. So it's like I'm steady going to the doctor, like, when you gonna close me up? When you gonna close? So it's fine. This happened December 26th. I remember the day they closed my stomach was September 19th, so this 9 months after. So after all this happened, I found out I got the little court situation going on. So I go to a lawyer, I pay the lawyer, and I'm thinking that everything's taken care of. So like a year passes by, and I'm living my life, I'm back doing whatever, and I get pulled over for speeding, going 55 in a 45 right by my house. And when the police come back, he like, you know, they got a warrant out for your arrest. So I'm like, huh? And the lawyer ended up that I had, everybody talk about, I ain't gonna put him out there bad, but he's supposed to be a good lawyer. He was bullshit. I had to get another lawyer. He started pushing my court dates back. You know, you ain't tripping when you getting your court dates put back when you're in the streets. When you in jail and you can't, and I'm talking about my bond, they had talked to the judge and my bond got lowered to like $250. And I could have got out on the $30 sign-out bond, but I had a hold. So my lawyer go back, he like, well, could you up the bond to like $100,000 and he gonna bond out? He like, nah, why would I do that? Like either he gonna beat the charge or he ain't getting out of jail. Like, that shit crazy. But I was, like, after I got shot, it was like a year and maybe 9-10 months before I went to jail.
And you had to do how long?
8 months.
Because of a probation violation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, you had to learn to walk again, and how long did that take you?
Probably
that was in the 4 months that
you
were in
the
the
first
hospital?
4 months. Like it's really like every week it's some more shit. Like at first you just standing up, cause like by you not using your legs get weak. So it's first you just standing up, then you walking a little bit. They give you a walker. I'm talking about walking with a walker. Like, you know, they got a saying where they say once a man, twice a baby. Well, when you born, you're a baby, then you live your life as a man. Then when you get older, you're a baby again, because people have to help you do stuff and change. Like I had to. Man, one time I remember my first probation officer, he came to see me and I had, like, my bags had bust. Cause I used to have to change my bag every day. I used to have to take the bags and cut. I have to measure how big the hole was on my stomach and cut the bags. And then I have to peel it off, clean all the stuff, put glue on it, and then tape it off. But I had ran out of bags and the bag bust. And I remember he came see me and I was just laying in the bed. And like he like the look on this. If I would have carried that probation officer, after all that shit happened, I would have had to go to jail. I'd have been straight. But the new lady I had, she ain't know nothing about all. She ain't see me at my weakest point, so she was straight with the bullshit. He out here in the street, he done went back to jail and whoop-de-whoop, give him 10 years. Like, she wasn't going for nothing. And the crazy part about it, she was married to a dude I had went to high school with. And I ain't find that out till afterwards. I wish I had have found out, because I probably could have told him to let my people go or some shit.
Now, are the bullets still inside you?
Nah, they all came out. The one that went in my leg went straight through, and that's what ended up happening. When I first went to the hospital, I was good. Like, they have me, like, I was straight, I was calm, I was talking, my ex-girlfriends, and it was like a party up there, like everybody was at the hospital. And then I remember them telling me that we about to bring him to surgery and take the bullets out. And when they brought me to surgery to take the bullets out, I came back out and it was just bust wide open like a watermelon. Like, that shit looked so crazy, like. And it's crazy when you look down at yourself and you like, man, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, I don't wish that shit on my worst enemy. Like, that shit was horrible. Like, I don't, like, if I wouldn't even tell, and then it's so crazy, if I wouldn't tell you that shit happened, you wouldn't even know. Like, if I wouldn't, like, if you see my stomach, you be like, man, that shit crazy. Like, but if I don't tell you about it, especially by the way I carry myself, because, like, I fucked up shit always going on with me, but you'll never know, because, like, I know it could be worse, you know what I'm saying? And I know this is what I signed up for. Like, that's why I say with that good and the bad shit, when I was going through this shit, I ain't cry about it. My mama, when I was in jail, I wasn't in that, oh man, these people done locked me up, because it just was what it was. I tell people about it because it's my story, but I ain't bitch about this shit because I knew what I was doing. I wasn't crying when I was in Miami. You feel me? I wasn't crying when I was in LA. You feel me? When I was having foursomes and, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't crying then. You gotta take the good with the bad. You feel me?
A foursome is you and 4 women?
Nah, me and 3 women.
Oh.
It done been worse than that. You know, I'm on the decline now, man. But anybody, I got some shit, bro. We was just talking about this shit, man. My part of my house, I got a room in my house called a Vegas room. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I got a stripper pole with the lights. Like, it don't make no sense to go in a strip club when you can bring the strip club to your house. Like, I'll be on my bachelor shit. I ain't got no kids, so I don't be caring. You feel me? It is what it is. Like, I have fun, but you gotta have fun from them days you ain't gonna be able to have fun. Cause man, I got a story. Like, I done been through so much shit. Why wouldn't I have fun every day? You feel me? Like, I don't understand how people like limit themselves, like, and don't travel and don't see the world. Like, the world is so much bigger than what's around you. Like, and there's so many people and places, and like that's why, like, our shit road runner. Like, we road run air. Like, I've been traveling since a kid. Like, I ain't gonna say a kid like my family, but I'm talking about since 17, 18, since I could do it on my own. We been doing all that stuff. Like, it's so much to see, bro.
Now, are there any complications or side effects since that's happened?
My back be killing me. Like, that shit hurt. No matter, like, I can honestly say, like, no matter how much medicine I take and all that, it don't stop hurting. It's just, and you know what's crazy? Like, when I came home from the hospital, I had to sleep in the hospital bed for like, until I got healed up, like 9 months in the hospital bed. So once you get used to sleeping in that, now I'm back to sleeping in the regular bed, and that's killing me. But you know what's crazy? When I went to jail, my back hurt for like a week. Then it stopped hurting. Like, sleeping on that iron, I don't know, and I done did little doses, little 3-4 month dose here, 5 months here, but like, that was like, man, I can't sleep on this shit. Man, that shit there, it wasn't, I don't know if it, like, now when me sleeping in my bed hurt. Like, and that's crazy. I don't know what it was, like, the firmness, maybe I needed the firmness or whatever it was, but, and now I don't wish that shit on nobody. Jail, shit, nah.
What are somebody watching this that might have just gotten shot themselves, what are some do's and don'ts for a speedy recovery?
Man,
I mean, I know every shooting is different and where you get shot is different.
You gotta take your medicine, you gotta listen to them doctors, and you gotta allow yourself to heal. Like, that was my problem. Like, I ain't allow myself to heal. See, when I first got out the hospital, and like, I'm on some shit, I gotta make my money, and I'm trapping with a book bag, with an IV bag, with my hole in my stomach. Like, people watching me, like, it was crazy because it's to the point where if I drank something, the shit would come right back out in front of my face. Like, so, like, you dealing with people and you doing shit and they looking at that shit crazy. But you gotta listen to them doctors, man. Like, them people know what they doing, you know. You gotta allow yourself to heal, and you gotta take your medicine and shit. But that medicine, that shit a bad, because you will getting hooked on that shit. Like, I had to the point where I was withdrawing. Like, they had to bring me to the hospital because I was throwing up like a heroin addict or some shit. Like, that shit hard. Like, especially when you used to getting them IV medicines and all that shit. Like, that shit make you feel like what drug addicts be feeling like. Like, you see why they be yearning for stuff, because you be in so much excruciating pain, and that's the only, so they chasing the excruciating high, and that's the only thing that's gonna fix it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. But you gotta listen to them doctors, and you gotta allow yourself time to heal, and don't be doing all that extra ass shit. Like, that's the main thing.
Now, hindsight 2020, could this whole situation have been avoided?
I don't think so. I mean, if I would've, at 17, 16, 15, whatever, decided to just live a straight and narrow, probably so. But I mean, at the end of the day, everything planned out. God been seen this. Like, people dying, what you going through is, what don't kill you make you stronger. I'm mad it happened, but at the end of the day, it made me a better person. It made me value life. It made me want to spend time with my family. It made me want to do stuff that I never did before, because at the snap of the fingers, my whole life could have been taken away from me. Like, so.
Or you could have been paralyzed in a wheelchair.
Right.
Or
And I had my best friends paralyzed. He got shot 3 years before me. Like, I got two best friends. One of them got killed. That's what I'm saying. Louisiana, some wild shit. One of them got killed. Well, I say three, really. One that's incarcerated. He's doing 10 years. All of us grew up together like brothers. One of them, he doing 10 years. He'll be home in like 3. My other one, he got killed in 2009, a year before I got shot. And 2 years before he got killed, my other best friend got shot in the back. He paralyzed from the waist down. And like, I see the shit that he go through. And he, like the Grinch that stole Christmas. He don't cut no corners. And he talk more shit than a little bit. And but at the end of the day, the only thing handicapped about him is that he can't walk, because he got more hustle and more game and move around better than a lot of people I know that got legs. You feel me? Like, that shit, the only way that's gonna handicap you is if you allow it to.
I mean, I've never heard a situation quite like this, like yours.
Right.
I've talked to a lot of people that have gotten shot, but I've never heard somebody being at the wrong place at the wrong time, then having to learn how to walk again, then going right to jail over being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and then having to deal with complications since the incident.
And when the be crazy, like, when the judge heard the story, she like, y'all really got this man in jail over this little bit of shit? Because somebody shot him, and he was like, it was just crazy. But it's Louisiana, like, the judicial system not fair. Like, just like Joe McKnight. This shit just happened with Joe McKnight. White dude shot him. That man went home. The same shit happened 3-4 months ago where a black dude shot Will Smith. These both two famous football players in New Orleans. And that man in jail on a $1.7 million bond. So it's like, it ain't fair. Like, I mean, it's fair, but it's not, because, I mean, it's the judicial system, it's the law. But it's like it puts us in the situation where it's made to make it worse for us. You feel me?